pages now. Good afternoon, everybody. Commodore, CMC, friends, family, shipmates, everyone welcome. Matt, again, thank you. Truly an honor. You asking me to be your guest speaker at your retirement. Although I'm not sure what you were thinking when you said make this at 1400 today. Matt and I have known each other for about 15 years now. I say known of each other for 15 years. We met once, about 15 years ago, party at my house. My wife and Sarah have been mutual friends, way better friends than what Matt and I were for 15 years. I know we sat there that day. We probably drank a couple beers. Probably ate some barbecue or some fried fish. But there were contributing factors as to why Matt and I didn't get to know each other. During this time, he was on the USS Chief, and I was stationed at SRF in Ingleside. Now, with that said, our wives themselves did a much better job than Matt and I, and they are still friends to this day. Fortunately, she's not able to be here. She lives in Texas now. So let me take you back a few years. Matt was born in 1975. Oil was $13 a barrel. The Vietnam War had ended. Sony released the Betamax, and JDC introduced VHS. We know who won that one out. The first blockbuster movie was Jaws, to be released that year, and two guys basically working out of their garage named Bill Gates and Paul Allen created a little company called Microsoft. Matt, maybe the Jaws movie is your connection to sharks and your big fishing stories like you love to tell. Now, Matt grew up in a small town in Portage, Wisconsin, just north of Madison, doing typical farm boy stuff, like trying to build a go-kart out of wagon wheels. I'm sure it was a success. Cutting firewood, driving tractors, working on small engines. And although I think he might have figured out why Matt is the way he is when he told me a story about him and his nephew. They would take tractor tires, they would climb inside of them and roll them down a hill. Whatever stopped them first, whether it was a tree or the bottom of the hill, and then they just pushed it back up the hill and did it again. And explain some things. The farm life definitely was the backbone for him. Becoming an engineer in the Navy. Spring forward a few years, it's 1994. The average cost of gas is $1.09. Movie tickets are about $4, and the average rent is $533 in the United States. Tanya Harding won some figure skating deal and they got her to take it away because she decided to beat the crap out of her friend or her rival. Let's see here. And well, during that year, Matt decided to finish high school in some sort of manner. Matt screws around for about 2 years. And a persistent Navy recruiter gets him to dep in the Navy in November of 1995. And he goes to boot camp February 1996. Man, I was still in high school.
Thank you, Master Chief.
Matt finished boot camp and goes to fireman ATD school. Another similarity that we have is we were both undesignated firemen. Became an undesignated fireman and then ships out to Norfolk to go, as Commodore Faye said, the USS Incheon NCS-12. He was supposed to go down the engine room, and I believe it was some EN2 that pulled him off to the side, changed the mushroom sheet, and he went to A-Gang. Probably one of the least appreciated divisions on board a ship most of the time. But me being another A-Gang sailor from going on my first ship, undesignated, and going to A-Gang. A-Gang definitely uses Matt's strong mechanical tinkering background that he got from the farm. He excelled at hydraulic systems, air conditioning systems, and all the other support stuff that goes along with these systems. And during this time, he goes on 2 deployments, the last one specifically to a little thing called Kosovo. Well, another similarity, you and I were there at the same time. I was just darn surprised you were there on Inchon. Amazing how many times our life crossed together and we didn't even know it. He excelled during this time, going from E1 to E5, as, again, I did the same thing, E1, E5 first shift. During this time, Matt also meets Sarah, gets married July of 1998, another queen Deborah and I married May of 1998. And at this time, he also becomes the father of Isaiah. Matt does what any good father does and teaches many things to Isaiah, like learning how to spit for the first time, riding four-wheelers, and many other things, but most important, treating Isaiah as his own son. Matt leaves the Inchon July 2000 and reports to Mutsu, mobile diving unit for your non-military folk, in Little Creek, Virginia. At Mutsu, he's a small boat engineer supporting divers, a bunch of prima donnas. But Matt supports him. Works on a huge project, as Commodore said earlier, prepping for the recovery of the boiler and the turret for the USS Monitor. Matt works very hard and gets his support equipment ready for this huge undertaking. They had their orders and Matt was ready. About to leave with his team when a little guy decided to make his appearance in the world. That little guy being Tyler. So Tyler was born. Matt decided he would stay home, as any father would do. Take the time to take care of Sarah and Tyler and Isaiah, as his team went on to go ahead and finish the recovery of the turret and the boiler for USS Monitor. Matt may have not been physically there, but because of the things Matt had to do to get the equipment ready, he was there. Through a lot of hard work, his team succeeded at the mission, and it was because of your work, Matt. They wouldn't have been able to do that whether you were there or you weren't there. It was the way y'all prepped, and everything was ready to go, and they were able to go down and make that mission a success. About a year later, the tragic life-changing event that most of us know of 9/11 happens. Still being at Mutsu, they are put in charge of making sure the harbors of Norfolk and Little Creek are clear of explosive devices and providing continuous harbor security. And then boom, Danica is born, 2002. 2003, Matt thinks, I think it's time to make a change. I'm going to go to dive school. Matt goes to dive school, does quite well. But with most things, he starts to think about what he really wants to do in life. He has a family with 3 kids now. So he decides that he would prefer to breathe above water. And Matt makes the decision to drop out of dive school. Doesn't regret it. He knows his family at that time was his priority, and maybe diving wasn't the right thing for him to do. So he goes off and he reports to USS Chief in MCM 14 in Ingleside, Texas, 2003. So a couple facts: during this time, the Iraqi Army and the Iraqi Republican Guard are defeated in Baghdad, ending the regime of Saddam Hussein. And the space shuttle Columbia fails when re-entering the atmosphere, killing 7 crew members on board. Matt makes first class petty officer. He gets his EI letter on board. And sometime while Matt is there, our wives became friends. In 2005, Matt shifts the MCM crew Bulwark, a MCM rotational crew, where he served on USS Ardent, the Sentry, the Pioneer, the Scout, the Warrior, and the Devastator. Pretty remarkable, all in 3 years. November 2008, Matt transfers to Washington State, as Commodore said, to go to NAV-MFAC, Pac Northwest, 38 Charlie, to work on submarines. I think working on submarines is where Matt's anal retentiveness shined because of subsafe work. If you've ever done anything with Matt, doing some auto mechanic work or working on a program, whatever it might be, he's by the book. If the book doesn't say it, there's no between the lines. This is what we gotta do. An opportunity arises for Matt to be an LPO there, which is a rarity on shore duty. They're hard to get, right? It may not have been in your wheelhouse, but you took on something different, became the LPO at Hazmat, and finished up your time there. Then Matt transferred in 2012 to ACU-5 and becomes a craft engineer. He deployed in USS Macon as a craft engineer. And Matt's never settled with just being an expert in one thing. Probably one of the most well-rounded enginemen in the fleet, and he makes Chief Petty Officer, and it was well-deserved. Matt is there at ACU 5 until November 2016, and I know there's many other accomplishments during that time. He then transfers LCS Round 1 to come work with me in N4. Up to this time, I still only met Matt once, way back in Hillside. Now 15 years later, I sleep on his couch every once in a while, eat their food. Once again, he changes Navy engineering gears and has to learn LCS. Matt is overwhelmingly adaptive and will take on whatever you ask him to do. He takes on the task of being a member of the training team and makes multiple trips to Mobile, Alabama. I just happen to go along. During this time, Matt and I worked hard, played harder, taking every opportunity to train and to fish. It was our way of staying out of trouble and doing something both of us love to do. I can tell you that we took every advantage of it. When down in Mobile, we created some of the best memories that I will never forget. Thank you. I remind you that Matt is super adaptive. And I have to make a decision because I'm the N4 DLCPO, and I have to assign personnel to build a new command from with our own command. And we created Surface Division 11. I didn't want to send Matt, as I didn't want to send many others to Division 11 because I wanted to make the best decision in the best interest of the Navy in both commands. But I figured out Matt's strengths, and I knew that one of Matt's strongest traits was that he was not going to sit back and watch something fail. He will pour his heart and his soul into something no matter the sacrifice to himself. And due to that, we have many successes for LCS. In the last 3 years, I've learned a lot about and from Matt. I can truly say that it's because of a sailor like Matt that I stand before you and you keep me going every day, bud. He loves his family without a question, from supporting Sarah in whatever she is doing or whatever kind of crazy Christmas ornament or whatever it is that she's come up with that she wants Matt to cut out and paint, or she's going to paint. Seeing his two sons graduate high school and being unbelievably proud of Isaiah for joining the Air Force. He'll never shut up about it. And Tyler, he talks continuously about you. So proud of you going to college and continuing on doing whatever you're going to do. And he looks forward to your many accomplishments. And let's not forget about Danica. She's to graduate this year from high school. This year, she was the drum major of Oceanside High School Band, an amazing accomplishment all in itself. Recently, Danica started receiving college acceptance letters and is tasked with making a huge decision of what she wants to continue to do after her high school. And I know with your parents, you'll make the right one. Not only is Matt a family man, he can build anything out of anything. Sarah and him have built many incredible band props for the Oceanside High School. And when I say Matt can build anything out of anything, Matt built a blade for his four-wheeler out of a cherry picker, right? And then built a bucket for the four-wheeler. It all operates. It's crazy. He talked about it for about a year and a half in the office. I'm not sure how many napkin designs we did. We did quite a few. But when Matt sets his mind to something, he's going to build it. And he did. His mind is continuously going. He's trying to figure out how to improve whatever it is around him. Matt will drop everything he's doing to help a friend. Like moving into their house, rebuilding the engine on their truck, moving back out of that same house. Or the countless other friends that I know you've helped throughout the years. Why? Because Matt was the guy that always had the truck. Matt will sit and listen with a concerned ear when you need him to, and all he wants to do is help you. Matt, today the Navy is losing more than I could express on this piece of paper. You have been a great friend, shipmate, and brother chief. Again, brother, thank you for this honor of allowing me to speak in front of your guests today. I pray for you and your family as you turn the page to the next chapter of your lives. I wish you nothing but success, fair winds, and following seas, brother.